Time changes, new faces, old best friends, new strangers.
And we see a while ago the Warriors getting prepared for the task at hand. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Glad you're here with us tonight for this Monday night presentation. Now a chance to check out tonight's starting lineups. First for the Spurs, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the 4 slot. And for the Warriors, Curry and Thompson, the Splash Brothers in the backcourt. And at the pivot, a terrific defender and all-around player, the Australian sensation, 7-footer, Andrew Bogut. Then there's Iguodala, and it's Lee in at the 4.
You know, I thought San Antonio really was an outstanding team. Fun to watch, excellent at both ends of the floor. But one statistical thing that stood out was they defended at a high level without committing a lot of fouls. That takes discipline and smarts.
Thompson outside. Back to Curry. Pulls it from the elbow. Jump shot is good that time. Curry's got the game going with his first points of the game for the Warriors. And Clark, as you said about that Spurs team, just a team that does not foul very often. Doesn't give away free points. And, Steve, they led the league in fewest fouls last season.
Well, that's part of Greg Popovich's mantra. I mean, don't give up anything easy. You can't guard a free throw, obviously. You can't guard a fast break. So important for the Spurs to avoid fouls and take care of the basketball and be efficient offensively, and that helps their D.
Green, no luck. Spurs on defense. And Doris Burke caught up with Coach Greg Popovich. Doris?
He told me he's a fan of Andre Iguodala, especially the way he's developed his outside shot. He said that was one weakness. He could do everything else, pass, handle, and finish. And boy, what a defender. But now that he's developed that jump shot, there are really no weaknesses in his game. Guys, that makes it awfully tough to deal with a guy who can impact the game in that many ways. Back to you.
Thank you, Doris.
I'll tell you what, wandering aimlessly out of bounds like that might earn him a ticket to the bench.
And San Antonio has possession. Parker passes to Duncan. He dishes it to Green. Releases. That doesn't go either for Green.
You know, when he came into the league, everyone thought that Klay Thompson would be a great shooter, but I thought where he really improved last year and made strides was as a defensive stopper. He's got good size and strength.
Parker dishes to Leonard. There's the feed to Duncan. Makes the lead pass. And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
The fans don't like that call one bit.
Well, the officials got an earful as a result.
Matt Bonner, he's checked in for the Spurs. Diaw comes in for Tim Duncan. Curry against Parker. Here's Iguodala. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Iguodala's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And speaking of Thompson's defense, something he's worked at diligently, Clark, in the offseason.
Yeah, an hour and a half a day, Kevin, on defensive drills. That takes a lot of discipline.
That's something.
And while he's not an elite athlete, the footwork and length gives him a chance to defend positions 1 through 3 and do a solid job on quick point guards like Tony Parker even.
Curry kicks to Lee. The dish to Iguodala. They get it back. No good from Azia. San Antonio's gone 1 or 2 from long range in the first quarter. It's Parker with the drive. Feeds to Bonner. Leonard on the wing. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. 4 on the shot clock. That puts them in the lead.
That's a pretty good finish to a very shaky offensive possession.
Pass to Iguodala. Nice shot from the wing. Iguodala's got 5 points so far. Gets it off. No luck. It's a tie game here in Oakland. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here.
You know, the Warriors made big strides last year, and part of it was a retooling of the team, but they also got a lot of help from the group of rookies that they had, and a number of those rookies played prominent roles down the stretch and in the playoffs.
Now Parker. Parker off the pick from Bonner. Parker gets to Diaw. Barnes grabs the miss. Well, Clark, as you said, the Warriors did lean on their rookies as the season went on. 4 of them in all, with 3 coming in the draft and 1 walking on the roster. Big help, Steve, from them in the opening round of the playoffs.
Yeah, pretty remarkable that a team could do that well in the postseason, relying on so many rookies, but it speaks to their maturity, their character, the group they've put together, and it's very promising in terms of their long-term success. It looked to me like that pass was going to get through, and then bang, he was going the other way with it.
And now in transition is Parker. Here we go. That's good. Parker's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for the Spurs. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for San Antonio.
Boy, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Gentlemen, last year, Greg Popovich received $250,000 fine from the league for sitting out his starters in that game against Miami. They cracked down, but it wasn't the first time he'd rested his top players on a back-to-back. Pop explained the philosophy this way, saying, quote, "We're making a wiser decision and not a macho decision. It's about health and safety of players so that we have a shot at the end of the year. If I was taking my son or daughter to the game, I'd be disappointed. So I understand that perspective. Hopefully, they'll understand my perspective. My priority is the basketball team and what is best for it. Guys, it's always a balancing act."
It certainly is. Thank you, Doris. Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second.
A dramatic improvement for the San Antonio Spurs defensively last season, guys. Coach Pop had suggested that they might have gotten too old to be an elite defensive team anymore, but that wasn't the case. I think he challenged them a little bit, and they raised the bar of their defensive performance.
And here is Parker after the three-pointer from Andre Iguodala. Douglas against Parker. All alone. And the shot is long. And Clark, you mentioned the defensive improvement of the Spurs. Going into last season, their stat gurus told them they needed to focus even more on contesting shots, even if that meant committing more fouls or allowing more offensive rebounds.
Well, that's exactly what they did, Kevin. They gave up a few more offensive rebounds, fouled slightly more than they had the prior season, but they were better in terms of shot blocks, steals, and they held their opponents to a lower field goal percentage. So a great example of getting an edge from advanced stats.
Here's Azili after the made shot from Manu Ginobili. That's good. Barnes has got his first 2 points of the night. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Parker outside. He feeds it to Ginobili. Ginobili off a pick from Bonner. He kicks it to Diaw. Back to Ginobili. Shot clock at 6. And that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
A lot lot of noise coming from these fans. Pretty unhappy with that call.
Well, you know, we've got a lot of amateur officials in the crowd, and not one of them liked it.
There's 14 seconds left in the second quarter. Up top, Curry, covered by Parker. And again, it's the Warriors missing.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
And the first half ends in a close one. It's the Spurs up 2. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Monday has almost come to an end. Let's celebrate with a little halftime show. The Spurs are fighting for control so far. They haven't settled on tough shots. They're taking it strong inside. They're getting quality shots and a lot of quantity of those quality shots. Some nice plays so far from Tony Parker. He's chipped in 4 points and has been grabbing a few rebounds too. On the other hand, Golden State also been giving it their best. This team's known for their offensive rebounding capability, and they're maxing it out in this one. Andre Iguodala leads the game in scoring. They've had some great production from Harrison Barnes as well. Now let's get back over to Kevin Harlan and the rest of our crew as the second half gets underway.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead for the first 2 quarters.
You know, it's very rare that you're going to be able to make the playoffs in the West without coming out with a winning record against the rest of the conference. And the Warriors knew that would be important in their quest for the playoffs, and they handled business against the West.
Now here's Parker. Right side, Green. No luck. So Golden State will take it the other way. Oh, and for the Warriors who fought so hard to get back into the playoffs, last year their 28-24 record against the rest of the West really helped their cause, Steve.
Well, the toughest part of the Warriors' last campaign was a rough stretch of games in February where they dropped off a bit in the race. And, you know, a lot of those games were against Western teams. And if you kind of remove that month, their in-conference record is even more impressive.
Here's Curry. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Thompson, guarded by Green. And Thompson kicks to Lee. Back to Thompson. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse.
Now there's something for the top 10 highlight reel right there. A layup can be just as sweet and as pretty as a dunk sometimes.
Now Klay Thompson making NBA money. I'll tell you what, he learned from his father, Michael Thompson, who played a long time in the NBA. And his dad taught him, hey, you better live on a monthly stipend. You got to save your money, son. So good advice from Ross.
We've got 1:48 left in the third quarter of the game. Curry passes to Bogut. Back to Curry. And another basket for Golden State. And, you know, to go back, there's the cliche of the athlete who doesn't save for retirement. It's got to be a good thing for Klay Thompson to have that restraint, I would think.
And what I like, Kevin, the focus for him is on basketball and getting better. No entourage, no shopping sprees. Everything is pretty low-key and close to the vest. I mean, he's a gym rat, wants to be a great player, not interested in glamour and celebrity. He wants the ball.
I like the fact he lives on a tight budget. And, you know, as Steve was talking about, he's got some pretty good genes, pretty good bloodlines,
DNA isn't bad at all, with Michael being the dad.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Tim Duncan was offended after last year's finals when reporters asked if he'd consider retiring. He said, I can't believe you're asking that question. It's been 5-6 years you're saying we're too old. And guys, it's true. This is a team that's been written off season after season, and they find a way to keep their window open. Coach Greg Popovich said, quote, vacation is overrated. You can only grow so many tomatoes and read so many books. Guys, until they say they're done, you never count them out.
Doris, the Spurs win percentage over the Duncan era, the best of any team in NBA history over a 15-year span. I'd have to agree with you. And here is Parker after the three-pointer from Stephen Curry.
He tried to step in and cut him off, but just not quick enough.
And we have the benefit of replay, but I think they got that one right, which is the case most times, even though fans don't think so.
You know, he's not the most flashy point guard out there, and you don't hear his name when people talk about the best point guards in the game, but I think Parker is one of the best in the business when it comes right down to it. He's able to do so many things out there for you and just had a dominant season for the Spurs a year ago.
Steve, Parker's fearlessness going to the hoop is what makes him such a devastating player in crunch time. Often you'll see him go right into a bigger guy, take the contact, and still find a way to finish the play.
Now Parker, after the missed three from Iguodala. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. Kawhi Leonard is checked in for Tony Parker. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Curry kicks to Barnes. Back to Curry. To tie. And the shot is good. Curry's got 10 points in the game.
These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
Yeah, that's twice in a row now where they've done exactly the opposite and backed off.
Here is Splitter. Green with a screen on Barnes. Ginobili dishes to Leonard. Clock at 6. Ginobili. Wide open look. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. Here's Curry. No good. Third quarter comes to a close and a battle brings it to a tie. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. Warriors shooting 52% from the floor. Nice work so far from them. Back to Bogut. Thompson outside. Iguodala outside. Right side, Lee. 6 on the shot clock. And now it's Green running. He can go all the way. Throws down off the coast-to-coast try. In a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Spurs.
Boy, defensively, they've played with a high energy level, guys, and all the steals we've seen, really a result of that aggressiveness.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Lee goes in. It's Curry outside. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. Curry's got 11 points here in just the second half. Leonard against Iguodala. Leonard the pass to Parker. And Steph Curry with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. The Spurs making a switch here. Ginobili's checked in. The fourth quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. Leonard kicks to Ginobili. Leads him in there. Splitter, that's good. And the Spurs lead by 1.
I don't know what's happening to their defense. They don't have any effort, any purpose.
And it's really costing them. I mean, the last 5 baskets at that end have been on very easy looks.
Curry outside. And another 3 for Golden State.
This is incredible. It's been a three-point barrage since halftime.
Yeah, whether by design or by accident, it has been impressive.
And Parker, here we go. Ginobili on the wing. Iguodala with the steal. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. Thompson with the ball. Cloak loose. Parker with the steal. And now in transition is Parker. Here we go. They double team Ginobili. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Kicks to Ezeli. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Warriors.
Man, they keep piling up the assists, guys. Great ball movement.
They've really been on fire from beyond the arc tonight, too. I mean, a lot of their points have come from out there.
San Antonio trailing here. There's the pass to Parker. And Ezeli with the block. To the middle. Here's Thompson, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk. There it is, guys, that Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
Curry against Parker. Double team on Parker. Ginobili attacking. Outside Leonard. Dishes it to Parker. 6 to shoot. Curry with the defensive effort.
It's kind of a shocker. The defense was there, but it wasn't right in his face. Kind of out of character for him to miss those.
The finger roll finish at the bucket. And the Warriors lead by 6.
But the drive to the bucket was nice. But how about the finger roll finish? Beautiful.
Ginobili attacking to end the run. It's rebounded by Golden State. And now they decide to foul intentionally. So the first one drops, and that makes it a 7-point lead. A different look now for San Antonio. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. And Boris Diaw is sub for Tim Duncan. Spurs have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. And here comes Douglas. Outside for Curry. From outside the arc. That's good with a Douglas assist.
A serious game-clinching run. They've taken off here. Impressive.
No backing off. What a surge at the right time.
San Antonio calls timeout. They're trailing by 10. 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Third minute of action now gone here in the fourth. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give.
Extra bright, I want y'all.